Hi, I'm Judy Carlough with Gibson, Sotheby's International Realty, and thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. In this edition of Real Information About Real Estate, we're going on the road, and I'm going to leave my little town of Holden. I'm out on my deck right now. It's early August in 2025, and we're going to head out to New Salem, Massachusetts, which is at the north tip of the Quabbin Reservoir. And of course, we'll make some stops along the way, take a look at some of the real estate that is available for sale, because as I tell my clients, you're not just buying four walls, floors, windows, heating and cooling systems. You're buying a town, a community, a lifestyle. So I like to make sure everybody gets a 360-degree view of what the town or the location for a home they might buy is all about. So come join me. Well, I didn't even make it to my first stop, which is the fabulous Rose 32 Bread and Bakery in Hardwick, Massachusetts. We'll be there in a few minutes, but I just couldn't resist stopping to share this scenery with you. I am just about a half mile past the entry to the Rutland, Massachusetts State Park. And there are beautiful ponds and lakes all over. So I just want you to take a look at these. And in the second shot, which is literally across the street, so you get to drive between these two large bodies of water, there is a beaver dam. Ponds and lakes like these are common throughout central Massachusetts. Just one of the things that makes this part of the Commonwealth so very special. And looking at these water lilies, it's easy to see why the artist Monet loved painting them. And that's a hint about why we're going to New Salem in just a little while. Beaver dams, well, this is a beaver lodge. Miracles of engineering, and I have no idea how they do it. Don't let the ho-hum exterior fool you. There is much extravagance inside. And check before you come, because Rose 32 isn't open every day. Okay, here's the lineup. Under the glass cases are mostly sweets. Black bottom cake. I love this next one. Apricot tart. Oh, I could eat that whole thing in a single setting. And then the breads, which is what I usually come for. I love their sourdough, but everyone I've tasted has been absolutely terrific. And yes, those are sticky buns.
And I would like to have a vegetarian sandwich and mac and cheese.
We have a number here.
Dine inside or outside, pick from a large menu. I chose the smoked salmon, arugula tomato, cream cheese combination, which under the red umbrella outside didn't photograph so well, but trust me, it was really delicious. It's a wonderful, wonderful place to come visit. Just don't be on a diet. I'm almost at our next stop, which is the Swift River Reservation Conservation Area. I'm going to do a light hike to burn up some of those wonderful calories. And I just stopped by this because this is just so typical of central Massachusetts. You're driving down a very wooded road, and then you just come across like a beautiful, I'm assuming this was an old family burial ground. It's the Nichiwag Cemetery. I just entered New Salem about a mile or so ago, and I went by the entry for the New Salem State Forest, which would be an adventure for, unto itself. And I also went by and resisted going to a bake sale that advertised pies. But I just had to stop a minute because, once again, you've got such beautiful lakes and ponds. I do think there are some homes, speaking of real estate, on the other side here. Sorry, it's a little too steep for me to go down. As you can see, I haven't got my hiking shoes on. So when I went to the Swift River Conservation Area, I took a very short hike. These homes aren't for sale, but it's a mix of traditional shuttered colonials and one-level ranches from probably the 50s or 60s. This one was quite large. See the golf cart on the left? Huge sloping backyard to this contemporary. I made a quick stop at the New Salem Public Library, where the very nice librarian let me recharge my phone a little bit more. Librarians are always the nicest people. And it was the kind of place where everyone who came in, she greeted them by name. She knew all the children. And she even let me stay 10 minutes after closing. So if that's the kind of situation, scenario that appeals to you, New Salem is a pretty good place to live. This is my main destination here in New Salem, Massachusetts, and wait till you see it. If this was once a private residence, look at this bold, wonderful Victorian architecture. I'm gonna have to back up to get it all in. It was once owned by a private family, and at their own cost, they converted it into a museum that is both extraordinary in and of itself, but there is also a teaching and training facility and studios on the third floor. The entry door, like all the windows, interior and exterior, trimmed in black, which gives a wonderful, dramatic, yet very contemporary look. And inside, you can see a major renovation of the Victorian, the original Victorian, a window wall and huge oil paintings throughout. Look at the scale compared to that piano. Then hallways, we'll take another look at these in a moment, where a lot of the art is displayed. And then actually they broke through, I'm sure in the original home, they were bedrooms upstairs. Well, they broke through to create an extended gallery upstairs and adding more of these windows to the back facade of the home, which really brings in so much light. Okay, so here's a typical gallery. You go down, wonderful arched architecture, paintings on either side. Here's another. This one has some sculpture displayed. We're going to focus mostly on artwork. A portrait is always subject to the artist's interpretation. Very direct gaze, very contemporary painting here. And then you just move along a little bit and you see one that's really different and could have been painted yesterday or 100 years ago. Look at this beautiful little girl. I think her expression is something you just can't read. But she has a beautiful white dress and looks to be in the seagrass, maybe in the Low Countries. And then other portraits in close proximity might be a little more traditional, or they might be like this one, which I love, where the portrait really is all about the Pomeranian dog on the bed, and the human is a secondary consideration. This dog was so well crafted that the eyes really have the gleam of an actual Pomeranian. And who knows what this woman is doing? Maybe she's looking at a watch or looking at her cell phone or something. It's a casual setting in a hotel room. It's very different. Oh, the hotel, the museum also includes parts of, like this Newell post includes parts of the older home. And here is a portrait, and some of you are already going, wait a minute, what's that? If you've been to the Boston Museum of Fine Arts, you've seen his works again and again and again. This is an elegant portrait, turn of the century, I assume, this very well-to-do woman. And yes, it is a John Singer Sargent. Now, this one, I don't know the title. I call her Golden Girl. The satin on her gown is luminescent. And look at this expression. Talk about attitude. Very different pose than the Sargent portrait we just saw. Here's a third one. Could be like the cover of Little Women. And the light that comes in on this. This is not lighting from the museum. This is lighting crafted by the artist. So those are just a few of the portraits. Oh, yeah, we do have a few more. Look at this, very contemporary, very striking religious overtones, and compared to this, extraordinarily contemporary, almost like on a massage table. And that is side by side with this portrait. The museum has a lot of animal elements to it. So a portrait doesn't have to be, as we've seen before, purely human. And the next one on this gallery is more traditional and very sober. Oh, here's this guy. He looks like a Chinese food dog on acid. So there's whimsy, and finally, quite an odd portrait. But the rendering is meticulous, every brush stroke. You're already saying, wait a minute, could that be? Yes, every hair in place, every wrinkle in the blanket. It is Andy Wyeth. So John Singer Sargent, Andrew Wyeth, many, many other contemporary and traditional big names. A final shot of the from the upstairs of this gallery, and we're going out those French doors in a moment onto that wonderful deck. But the scale and proportion in the collection is just amazing. I found this place by accident, and this is my second visit. I will make it a point to come very often. Okay, so we exited through those doors. Beautiful brick patio. Here's another shot of the exterior of that window wall with all the black trim. And over here in the distance, that brick fireplace, I'm sure they use it for barbecue or pizzas. And why did I forget to bring a bottle of wine and a small picnic basket? I'm certainly going to do that next time I visit. And what do you think if I post this on Facebook and tell people I bought a new home, that they're going to believe me? Maybe not. I'm just leaving the museum. Here's one final shot of that magnificent exterior. But I wanted to show you it's located on sort of a town common. There's a road over there near those houses, so there's a big public space in between. You can't really see, but here, but I'll try to get another shot of it, but there are two big white churches, so New Englandy, going all the way down there. And then there are other public buildings like the fire department and the library, which I showed you earlier. A lovely assortment of traditional shuttered colonials with front porches, or bungalows and cottages under ancient maple trees. Plenty of brick. I love the fantail window above the front door here. And many of them set on side streets that look like this dappled sunlight and great old trees. And there's even a general store right out of Yankee magazine. Look at this place. Yeah, it really does have a great general store flavor to it, and plenty of things to stock for wine out on the patio later on. And they've even left intact the old mailboxes, combination mailboxes. This is my final stop in New Salem, a fishing area on the Quabbin. And I promise I'll come back another time and do a whole segment on this incredible man-made wonder. This, of course, is just a very, very small, almost like a finger lake off the main body of water, which is huge. And just think of how outrageously beautiful it is going to be in the fall. I mean, it's pretty darn good right now, but I can't wait to come back in the fall. And I promise I will visit again when there's color. Thanks again for watching Real Information About Real Estate. I'm Judy Carlough. Please subscribe and remember to make sure that your realtor helps you learn about the whole community, not just the four walls, brick and mortar part of the property.